Hello, YouTube. Jeremy Wright here. Welcome to week 4 of the frog tadpole tank, and I'm still under the impression that these are leopard frogs. So let's talk about a few things. We're really observing metamorphosis here. We have rather slow changes. So we're a month in since my son originally collected frog eggs from my dad's pond in western Pulaski County, Arkansas. That's just west of Little Rock. And this is on private property, so legal to do. But let's talk about what's going on here. We've got these tadpoles, and I'm going to zoom for you and try to get them in shot. Now I'm using a new tripod, so bear with me. This is an Anchor tripod that I've never actually used before. What I'm really concerned with right now is trying to get these guys in frame and just get a bit of an observation going on. So they're still roughly on the 1 centimeter. I might say they're 12 millimeters now. So I am observing just a little bit of size difference at this point, but they're roughly the same size. Like, look, we've got to split hairs to really say that they're significantly bigger than last week. They're not. They're roughly the same size, but there is still some behavioral difference from how they operated and acted within the first few weeks. Maybe the first 2 weeks, they were. And it's not dramatic. They are less buoyant than they seem to be at first. Like if you watch them when they're not latched onto something, they sink. And their behavior is still rather sluggish. They're not high energy organisms. They move around to get food. That's about it. They don't move a lot. They're not fast, vigorous swimmers like maybe a guppy would be or fish. You can see that that lack of buoyancy was rather evident there. We saw 2 of them in frame, kind of sinking, and they're just not progressing as fast as I thought they would. Like I thought we would be seeing something that's more rapid than this. So I'm going to kind of give you another shot of this stuff. Let's come over here and look kind of down through. The tank itself, very, very stable, staying very clean. It's pretty interesting. It's actually, I've mentioned, this is one of the easiest aquariums I've ever dealt with. The plant center screen right now, that came from my dad's pond. I've yet to ID it. Another plant that came from there, Calatrichia palustris. Very beautiful little plant. Let me see if that's still thriving in this system. It is, but it's, let's see. Give me just a moment here. Sort of toward the back in that area, that's the Calatrichia. And, you know, it's a difficult plant to grow. It's not particularly picky because it was definitely growing in kind of a runoff stream and pond environment, but I haven't seen it in many places here in Arkansas. It's apparently the less common, it's the more beautiful, it's the more desirable, but you know, I don't really know much about this plant yet. So while I have identified it now, I haven't really looked up types of water parameters that it prefers. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't done much water testing in this little tank. So it's a 5-gallon unfiltered system, and it's, aside from having a sand bottom, it's very similar to the environment that they were found in. It's actually quite a bit cleaner. So the environment that they were in had like some oily residues and some rusty metal that were causing what I would call just high total dissolved solids and what might be protein films or maybe even lipids, oils that were on the surface of the water there. This is a much cleaner still water system, but it is a still water system. It's unfiltered. It does not have a flow in or flow out, but it doesn't have that nasty, rusty metal like iron, ferrous metals that are in that. Yeah, I'm just struggling with this new tripod. Maybe that will be a thing of the past soon, but these guys are just not quickly developing, and that's something that I guess is just what they are. They're not quick to develop. It's a slow process. I think it's going to take about 6 months. We're on week 4, so we're 1/6 of the way through this projected metamorphosis. I don't suppose I have much more to say about that right now, but let's get a zoom on them once more. And yeah, I'm just freehanding it now, so coming in here, I'm physically getting a lot closer. We are at 7 times zoom, where we were just before I paused and got the freehand motion going. But yeah, we're 10 inches away at 7x zoom. And I'm just gonna try and be as steady as I can, but this is probably the best shot I can give you. Looks like they're finally eating that staghorn algae. Cool. So that's something that I placed in here, hoping that it would be frog fuel, but I can't really tell what their favorite foods are. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. I'm gonna show you the zooming out. Some of the plants that are thriving in here. Amazon frogbit. It's doing great, right? Notice on the right side of the screen, moving to center now, there's a piece that's just been bitten through the middle. I'm under the impression that's from the frogs, from the tadpoles, as opposed to snails. But let's get a look in here and see if we can ID any snails, or if we can even find any. Yes, indeed we can. So there's a pond snail right over here. So the pond snails are still thriving, and they're endemic to the same, or local to the same pond. Native biology. Now, what's not native biology in here? The plant up at the top, guppy grass, Najas guadalupensis. That's a Central American plant. It is from the Americas, not native to the same place. Elidea densa, while it is found here, that's the plant growing kind of horizontally across the bottom, not found in the same pond. And beyond that, the algae on the other side. So there's a kind of center screen, there's a dark area. Let's look in there. It's a green hair algae that was in a wad of Najas guadalupensis. I placed that in here hoping that was going to be frog food. I said frog fuel earlier, and I almost said it again just out of whatever, pattern repetition. Here, pearlweed, that is from the same pond. And of course the plant is front and center. from the same pond as well, but yet to identify it. I'll try to get an ID on that before I give them. Oh, wow, I have found something. There's a ram's horn snail on that plant, and that does not belong. So I'm going to, right now, remove it while I've found it. And I'm going to drop it in my convict cichlid tank, which is directly next door over here. And they'll just eat it. Now, I allow ram's horns in other tanks. They're native to India, the Indian subcontinent, but I don't really want this. This is an American thing going. So I'm gonna give it a cut there. That's week 4 for the frog tadpole tank. I hope any of you who are watching and following along are enjoying this. It's admittedly a rather slow process. So we backed off from daily updates to weekly updates. This is now our second weekly update. I'll continue as such. Thanks.